Next talk is from Jan Mevissen, and he presents a case study with the title From Legacy Systems to a Scalable, Accessible Platform. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello and welcome to my talk about From Legacy Systems to a Scalable and Accessible Platform, which is a case study of the latest larger project we did at our company. My name is Jan Mevissen. I'm a Plone developer at Interactive in Germany. And the project, or the talk, is about, as said in the title, about a project where we worked on migration from a large-scale multi-legacy system older project and made it into a new platform. So I would first start talking about the project itself. So there might be here and there some German names. So the project, as we and with our colleagues talk about, it is BSBW, meaning Bildungsserver Baden-Württemberg. Baden-Württemberg is a state in Germany. And Bildungsserver means learning resource server. So, as I said, the customer is basically the state of Baden-Württemberg in Germany, but it's this thing more as the provider of learning resources for public schools. And they already have an existing and with time grown system, and it's not only one system. It's I think we had 3 systems we did migrate. So the legacy systems, the 3 main parts are, there's names LBS, so there's a learn resource website where you can get, say, any information about the things you need for public schools. So it's not only for students, it's for teachers and parents, and you can not only get infos about the subjects themselves, and you can get learning materials, you can check as a teacher what do you have to achieve in class, what is the plan for teaching for a specific class. Then there's the LFBS, an additional training resource library for teachers. And a smaller but a nice thing is the SKA, which is an archive for art that is created in school classes. So basically many pictures that were created in classes by students. So, and then there's some challenges with the old legacy applications. So one thing is they all have a different tech stack. One is, for example, is in fact Plone, but it was Plone 4. And the other one is just static HTML, but interestingly created static HTML, and they don't have a consistent look and feel and data technology. And the front end wasn't that modern anymore, and there were some problems with accessibility questions and so on, and some, as I already told, interesting approaches to content management. So I've watched a video they made about creating their content for a website in Excel. So it was kind of interesting to see that, and during the review processes in Excel as well, and then scripting it to HTML. So our project was to create a new platform. So basically, we have the three different legacy systems, and it all should go into one. So I would start off with talking about the project and the goals. So as you might see in the picture, there's a lot of people working on it, and a lot of people you have as deciders what to do. So it was not very easy to streamline the management process and getting to real usable user stories that you can really work on as a developer. So we were very happy that we had a very good PO, and especially Jörg did a lot of work in managing and getting ideas to something that is usable in sprints as user story, and that is really developable. And so basically what we want to achieve is a learn and teaching resource library for, so the size of it is quite huge. It's about 4,500 schools in the whole state of Baden-Württemberg. There are 1.5 million students who might use this resource library, and additionally 140,000 teachers. So it's quite a lot. And we have a bunch of requirements. So we absolutely need security. Scalability is crucial as well. We did look very much and very deeply into accessibility things, because it's when you have like every school in the whole state, you absolutely need to have accessibility for people who might not see, might use a screen reader, a keyboard. Navigation must work. Then there is a complex review and QA process. And then we needed to make a multi-site. So basically they wanted to be on the same and the same code base, but on the other side, it's very important for them to have their own internet presence. And so we went with a sub-site approach. Then there's a distribution of content. I will talk about this later. And we need a UI that is clear and easy to use, and some UX enhancements so that users can use the platform effectively and without problems. So I'd like to talk about the tech stack. So there was one thing I thought about showing, like the big picture, and we had the big picture, but this is a case study, and the big picture wouldn't fit here. So I thought for the case study it would be better to keep it simple and talk about it. So our first and very obvious decision was to use Plone as a backend. So it is known to be very secure, it's extensible. We have a great role and permission system and workflow machinery, where I've heard it before in other talks when the customers, as Emil said in the requirements, meant that they really have some interesting ideas about reviews of content, quality assurance of content, and they showed us their skills of workflows. and discussed something about workflow machinery, and we could say to them, yes, it's already mostly there in Plone, you just could use it, and they didn't believe us first, but then we just went basically in the ZME and set it up there manually. And so they could see that Plone is a good choice, and you could do it with Plone. And as a Plone developer, I could just say there's a lot of good reason to use Plone. Also, I like the testing infrastructure. I like Python as a programming language. So as a front end, we choose Volto. So we have a modern look and feel. The block-based editing is a super nice and very powerful thing. So it's very customizable, and we could use a lot of add-ons and create add-ons ourselves. So in the background, we have a lot of services that are all Dockerized. And for the Docker setup, we have created a GitLab pipeline. So basically, with every commit, we have a lint and security check. A new Docker environment is built, and we tested for Plone and our Office converter tool, and we have an automatic deploy built in. For scalability, we use Docker Swarm, so that we could add more instances for the Plone sites. So then there's a migration story where we needed to get the data from three very different old systems to the new Plone backend. So the data of the legacy system is quite a lot. So it's about more than 200,000 objects in the LBS systems, and about 410 gigabytes of blobs. We have in the LFBS systems like 350,000 files of static HTML, and about 84 gigabytes of data as a whole. And in the SKA system, it is the small part and was the easiest part to migrate. We have 6 gigabytes of data, which were mostly images. So we base our migration on Plone export import, and it's a tool that works very fine. So you could go from JSON-defined resources and could import them very nicely into Plone. So basically from the Plone 4 website, we could export the content to JSON, and then processing it afterwards. From the static HTML structures, it was a bit more difficult, so we used LXML, Beautiful Soup, to read it in, and it was kind of some different structures, but luckily not too creative and different, so that we could automate the process. Then we did a lot of work on rewriting links and sources, so making them work on UIDs. We created Volto blocks, so adding title blocks and text blocks. And then there was a challenge that the customer wanted an incremental migration, meaning that if you migrate, you only want to update things that have changed. So we, most of all, we, for example, when creating Volto blocks, we didn't, so when we started creating the Volto blocks, we started with random UIDs. We still use the random UIDs, but we save them as information to use them later on for the same block, the same ID. So it works in migration. So migration recognizes that a change has happened or not. And there was a lot of filtering and path mapping happening. So we had two systems, the LBS and LFBS system, where content from one system and the other were merged together. So we have some new passes that were created, some old passes that were all in the one structure, but from the other content structure we needed to add them. So we spent quite a lot of time and into creating the scripting, but it in the end works quite nice and perfectly. So we have migrated 250,000 objects and have a database size of 200 gigabyte. So that's for the more, in fact it says technical highlights, but it's more like front-end technical highlights after the technical stack from what I've told earlier. We did some interesting things, adding to the Volto front end and the back end. First of all, which I personally really like, is having a dashboard, especially for recurring users. So when you go to the website, you have your own dashboard with, on the first slide, the actual messages for you. So, for example, if you are a reviewer and something for you is there to review, you will see it in your messages lists. The messages list could be filtered by different filters. Part of the profile is the possibility to edit your profile. So you could change the typical things like your profile picture. Someone chooses a cat. And for data prevention reasons, you have the option. So in Germany, websites are official websites are forced to do this, that you can download your whole user data. Everything that is stored on your profile could be downloaded. Then you here have on the right side the options to so select your, say, typical of favorite subjects. So basically what school, maybe you're the teacher, for what school you are interested in or working, which subjects, for example, English or physics, and the class levels. And based on this, you get a view with the newest content filtered by your filter selection from the profile. So you can see you can easily see what are the news in your specific area of interest. Then we have so-called collections. Sorry for the German words. Collections are some kind of, say, favorites, but you can sort them. So you can add a new collection, give it a title, and then you can select content that is part of your collection, and you could have as many collections as you want. And if you choose, you have the possibility to publish them and share your collections. For example, if you are a teacher and want your pupils to see a certain set of content, you can add all your content to the collection and share the link with your pupils. Then we have the option to save searches. So we implemented a Solar search in this system, and you have the option. So when you are doing a search and you want to have the search as a repeatable search with all your search queries and filters, you can say, I want to save them, and they are listed in the dashboard as well. And when you want to redo your search, you just have to click a link here, and it's then automatically selects the filters and the saved settings from your later search. We have added some nice new blocks. This is the H5P block. So H5P is is for interactive learning or quizzes that are basically a zip file format with a lot of well-defined JavaScript, CSS, and HTML that could be run on an HP5 player. So what we did was we created an HP5 content type where you just could load up your HP5 file. This is unpacked and stored in the database. Then you can select this H5P data in an H5P block and could render it in just like other blocks. Then we added a 3D block for rendering STL files. So it's works in a block as well. So you can add your STL file where you want and could add a block and reference it from there. It is completely movable and turnable with the keyboard. So everything works for accessibility. We added AI-generated video subtitles where you could choose to create them or automatically create them, or you have the option to upload them yourself as a stored video subtitle format. And as you can see, we did some work on the views for file content type. In this case, it's a video view where you have the player and you have some metadata down here. Then we created a mass upload system where you can do massive uploads. As it says, the nice thing is that it is virus scanned in the background using ClaimAV. And you can, if you like, decide to do an extraction, meaning that if you upload docx, for example, it creates Volto blocks from it. Then there is several different kinds of, say, distributed content. So I already talked about the multi-site setup we did. So as an example, they want the archive for the art images in a own web page. But on the other side, they want to have a multi-site, but they want to have a search which searches over all multi-sites. So basically, you have a multi-site with an own domain and a different multi-site with a different domain, but you can use a search and get results from both. So it's stored in one solar system. And if you get content from the other side in the different site, you were then redirected to the content on the other domain. The other thing is called Zodix, which we did not do, but it was set up to be learning resource distribution system for the whole country. So basically what is done there is a database that stores metadata information, so title, description, and tags and more, and where the web resource is. And then different systems can connect to this central system, and we did a connection to the centralized learning resource distribution system in both directions. So we can add our metadata to the database there, so other people could use our content. And we can import metadata content and content from other providers there to show them in our pages. So it's very big and interesting concept of distributing content. Then additionally, we add an LTI connection, so for learning management systems. It's quite basic at this stage, but it did work. So we could go to a learning management system, like in our case it was Moodle we tested it on, have the option there to select content from our page and render it in this learning management created classes. As an example of Zodix, so to see it in a picture, we have an import, so we can import new Zodix metadata, and when it is imported, we were able to find these resources from Zodix in our system. And example for our LTE, where we had tested it out in Moodle, where you can add a Plone provider there and select content from our system that is then shown in the Moodle created content. So I didn't work on it myself, but from what I've heard, it was already tried out for Plone. I think there was already a product, but my colleagues had to do a lot of back and forth authenticating to get it to work, but we got it to work. And then there's the subject accessibility, which was very important. So we have looked that we were all right with the W3C standard. Important things we looked at was the keyboard and navigation, for example. We put a lot of effort in that to look that everything is usable by a keyboard. Labeling for screen readers, we checked a lot. Because we were not on Volto 7 yet, there was a lot of work done by us, especially my colleague Katrin, who, if you are interested, will have a talk to this about the subject, or two, in fact. Today after lunch is one, and I think there is even another talk about the subject as well. So it's very important, especially if you have a larger public system. So to close, so we did do a lot of work, and we are very happy, I think, about it. I think our customers were very satisfied with what we did. And we have even some new ideas we were looking at and exploring together. So one would be the AI integration, especially the next steps would be to have automatic metadata creation. Even an AI theme is doing semantic search. So we already dabbled into semantic search, or more or less in hybrid search. So semantic search is not the only thing that will work. From our experience with other customer data, I've seen that a mixture of semantic search with classic Solr approaches is better and more interesting. And we are still very interested in accessibility improvements in Volto. So I think this, as Timo did speak about it today, is already a lot of things in work. Maybe we could help. And we want to still do some more integration of more third-party system, and making the new learning resource platform even better and bigger. Oops. Yes. Thanks for listening. Questions?
Okay. I'm going to use the mic first, if you don't mind. About the LTI component, is that available as an open source?
The LTI?
The LTI.
We have it as an own product. I think it would be a good idea to open sources.
Yeah.
We put it on our two open source list.
Yeah, we would need it actually to have one of those. So, who were the questions? Were there? Okay.
So nice work you've done there. What do you use on the backend side? Do you use Zio or do you use Rails storage?
We started out with Zio, but then decided to change to Postgres.
And you have blobs inside Postgres?
We use store the blobs in Postgres as well.
Okay. How does it work?
It works. So yes, I think maybe the future will tell us more. But at the moment, it's much better than using the old approach.
Perfect.
Thank you for this interesting talk. So this is work done for the government, basically, or the Ministry of Education. So who financed this work?
I think it's more a question for Jörg, but I think it's ZSL.
It's financed by public funding.
So this is public money. Where is the public code? That's the question.
You want to have the code?
Well, it's public money. Why didn't you publish all of that? So the follow-up question is the joys of federalism. We not only have Baden-Württemberg in Germany, but we have 15 states. Why is only Baden-Württemberg using this system, which has been developed with public code, and not Bavaria and Hessen and Saxon and whatever, or French?
That are great questions to ask a developer.
I know it is Germany, but are you in talks with them to make that possible? Do they want to do that? Okay. The answer.
Okay.
I think they put that in place so that we cannot pull off a third world war. No longer collaborate with each other.
Well, actually, your question is right. It's public money, so it should be public code, and it will be public code. But we are in a very, very, very tight project and budget, and we had some really contractual obligations to fulfill in the first step, and it's also a lot of discussion. You need to convince people how to act. And I think we were successful with this convincing, and you will see a lot of this for sure as public code. So all the LTI, for example, the improvements there, or the H5P add-on and so on, that will be for sure public code. I can say that, and I can say that they are even interested in contributing more to this whole community, maybe by financing a sprint, maybe by really, because as a customer, as a large customer, they see that the future of the system and the future of this whole community is something that they depend on and that now they need to invest in. So the awareness is there. But yeah, you asked if it's also something for other states in Germany, and that's a question. The answer is probably no, because we have singularity or single opinions, and everybody wants to do their own thing. So probably the same thing will be developed 16 times, and it will not be possible in Germany to do it once. That's for my. But they won't, because it's made by one state and the other.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, let's have one more of applause for Jan.
Thank you.